everybody, it's Kimberly, and I'm back to tell you about the good, the bad, and the ugly in terms of twin flame unions. So what I want to talk about today is, you just heard that silly theme song, or iconic theme song, and it is telling of what I feel the situation is. And for those of you who aren't in union or maybe coming into union, I think everyone's experience is going to be slightly different, but I wanted to share mine, and I don't have a benchmark to hold this to know if some of these things are universal or not just yet, but I wanted to share them with you, and rather than sort of mulling through the process myself and not sharing. So hopefully this will help. So as most of you know, I was in a separation phase with my twin for about 3 months. It felt about 3 years. And during that time, I took a total segue onto a different path, and I started YouTube blogging, and that's how I've connected with many of you. And I also started to align with a piece of my professional life that wanted to start, life coaching and soul coaching. And so I was really able to align with that by doing my own healing work and coming into my own power center, healing a lot of my childhood stuff and a lot of the things that were being mirrored for me in my twin flame relationship. And I was able to, within a few months, very well navigate into a 5D space to hold the love and hold the space for my twin. And I didn't pull or nag or anything. I just became extremely joyous and invigorated about doing my own work. Were there tears? Yes, but they were more so at the beginning before I had surrendered into a 5D space. And once the surrender came, I was able to love him truly unconditionally without needing or wanting anything, and holding the space and holding the vision for the future, and sort of resting assured that things would come together. And in doing my own mission work, I very much began to see how in a potential union we could come into our missions and sort of, line up together. And that's sort of been my hope, although I don't know exactly what that looks like, because that would obviously be for him to determine. So, like I said, 3 months felt like 3 years, of course, when you're away from your beloved, even with all of the joyous, work and the good things and all the coming into myself, the shedding fears and insecurities, the just feeling better spiritually, having a daily practice of that grounded me in making the videos for you guys, and also in just my own spiritual practices, lighting the candles, meditating, past life regressions, doing the tarot cards or the oracle cards daily, and those things really grounded me. So we came back into connection about 3 weeks ago or so, and he left the relationship that he had been in, and I felt as if maybe it would be too soon for us to connect. So we had started talking on the phone, and then sort of said we'll hold off, seeing one another, but we were able to articulate the love that we had in our hearts and the willingness and wantingness to be together. So about a week after that, which is about 3 weeks ago, we saw each other, and it was amazing. And I did a video after that, and the coming together with your twin flame is amazing, especially spiritually. And when I saw how open and ready he was for it, it was even more of a uplifting feeling. And so he was also in a very 5D space in that first meeting when we came together. Because remember, you've come out of separation, you've come out of holding the faith for one another. You are in 5D, and we came together, we were talking in such a higher place and from such a higher perspective, and it was really beautiful. And so since that time, we've had a lot of bumps in the road, and they are things that have shown me, well, one, the video that I did after seeing him for the first time in several months, I told everyone, and it is true, you will be able to measure the relationship with yourself the most. The healing that you do along the way in your separation is so important, and it's amazing when you come back together and you see how far you've come, and you're like, whoa, I just grew in an incredible way, and in such a way that I'm not repeating my old patterns. My heart is open. So many positive things. I'm able to articulate how I feel better. I have a bigger picture understanding. I can love through his wounds better. So clearly there's still healing for me to do, but there's also a lot that he hasn't done yet, and I sort of knew that. So I think my process has been a little bit more accelerated than his so far, because I had the time to do this, and he was the one playing out a karmic relationship. So now that he's out of that relationship and we've come back together so soon, it's like I don't feel that the healing that he still has left to do is necessarily from his karmic relationship. It's definitely deep, like inner child stuff. And it's not going to go away. And, he's asked that I help him sort of like unpack the baggage, or however he wants to refer to it, as to do it with him. But it's very hard to do somebody's work while you're playing, with them, and give them the tools, or, just kind of help gently guide them when you're playing out a relationship with that person, because those wounds will rear their ugly head very soon. But the good thing with both of us, and I think that a certain amount of healing has happened with him too, and so the good is beautiful union, higher perspective. One of us is more healed than the other, but we both want the same thing, which is to be together. And the good thing with the less healed twin in my scenario is he is, sorry, I'm looking back because I hear a noise. He is healed enough to walk away from me, but then come back. And I'm healed enough to push him away, but then go, what am I doing? Wait. And we work through it. And we're working through the running away much better, much quicker. There isn't actually a break or a running. The tendency to want to do that is still there, though. And that has been a little ugly. It's been a little bad. So I guess the bad part is those old wounds that surface, and when they resurface, I think when you're more healed, you can see them a little bit quicker. So this time it's not necessarily mirroring for me. I think it's mirroring in the ways that I react, how I choose to react. That's what I need to look at myself. But in the terms of his wounds not being healed and this inner child work that hasn't been completely explored yet, that is where things get bad. And there's been not fighting, but like a big rift or chasms that happen. And you're like, what are you talking about? And where is this coming from? And what is this? Behaviors that don't even make sense. And I'm going, okay, this does not align with what we want, who we are, and where is this coming from? And I do feel like it's coming from a deeply wounded inner child, and even some like repressed things that haven't been dealt with. So that is still his work to do. And loving someone wholly and completely, sometimes the more you do that, the more when they're still wounded, the more they want to sabotage things. And I think that there's been some of that in our relationship where it's like kind of like he doesn't consciously try to sabotage it, but that there will be a wrench thrown in things or negativity that seems displaced or out of place, and you're like, where does that come from? We were just happy. And it is a difficult process to love somebody through their healing. So, I mean, love, of course you love someone, you love your twin through their healing, but to actually be playing out a 3D relationship with them while there are still these things that are coming up. So I've just tried to, hold the same space, be the mirror, hold my ground, thankfully, because some of those things have been hurtful towards me and painful, very. I'm even more thankful, again, the good, as I'm even more thankful that because things get really ugly, like ugly, I mean, hurtful things are being said. That seem displaced, that don't have reason or foundation. And it's not disrespect. It's hard to explain, but it's coming from something that needs to be healed. And when those ugly things rear their head, I know for me, the old me would have already, before all of this healing, I would have already run away. I would be gone right now. So that also is a mirror for me to see how far I've come in all of this, which is a beautiful thing. And to go, okay, I'm more in my power center. I can handle this better. I can be a bigger person and not take it personally and go, okay, I'm going to step outside of myself and just try to help him see the light as much as I can. And in the same sense, he's still doing the same for me, at times as well. The hurtful things, the ugly things, I want to talk about that. So you're going to go, okay, I know a lot of you are going, all right, well, how ugly can it be? Like, what is it? I don't know if I feel comfortable sharing the intimate details of the things that I don't like to even call them fights, because they're not fights. It's not like a fight. It's like just ugliness. It's just it's just like purging. It's just coming up for us to deal with. And it seems unfounded, there's no reason for it. So those things feel disrespectful. They feel hurtful. They feel like they make me want to run into a cave and never want to see him again. They make me feel sad. Like I want to bow my head down and not look up at him for a while or not talk. But I haven't, and we haven't done that to one another. We have chosen to talk and work through it, and even if there are moments of feeling like that and like the ugliness and the hurt of it, we have pushed through it, and that to me speaks volumes, and it says a lot about the healing that's been taking place on both of our levels. So, the bad part too for me is I've lost my balance a little bit in this. So I was talking earlier about, having the daily practice of YouTube videos, spiritual cards, lighting candles, meditation, past life regressions, all this time that I had on my hands that I could focus and work on myself. So of course, naturally, when you go back into a relationship, it's about balance. And you are trying to strike a balance again between the relationship with yourself and the relationship with your twin, right? Which is also the relationship with yourself and this amazing other soul that's part of you. So, for me, this is the piece that I'm in right now, is finding the balance and feeling like, you know, in hindsight, the relationship that you cultivate with yourself while you're doing with your healing is the most important relationship of all. So although you guys are like, I hate this, I'm crying, I miss my twin, it's awful, he hurt me, or whatever it is, once you can cruise past that, getting to the healing lane of feeling good and focusing on yourself and getting on your mission, that's amazing. And don't give that up for anybody or anything. And fight to find your balance, because coming into couplehood after that is, you know, it's a challenge. It's a challenge to find balance, and it will work itself out. I think it will work itself out as you progress, as your twin progresses healing, as you pull back to give back to yourself. You have to keep giving back to yourself and caring for yourself in the same way that you were in the separation. Because the more that you do that, and the more you're still doing your own healing, the more you're still going to help your twin, even if you are playing out a 3D relationship right now. It's like, that's where that mind confusion comes in for me, quite honestly. It's like, wait, I still have to go into the 5D. I still have to do my healing. This is still affecting us. You can't just only be in the 3D while you're playing out the relationship, because again, there are the wounds and stuff that aren't healed yet will just bring you down. So, that's, I guess, the message. I am also working on launching a new website. I'm going to have paid single sessions via Skype and phone for those of you that are interested, both intuitive healing and, you know, soul coaching, relationship coaching sessions. Twin Flames is a new topic for me, but I love our free support calls that we do weekly, and I hope that you can join us. If anyone is interested in getting in on the calls, I usually announce them a couple days prior. And this week I have some things planned for this new website I'm launching, so I probably won't hold a call until the following week, which is just before Labor Day. So anyhow, you can email me at transformationscapecod@gmail.com. And please check out our Facebook Twin Flame Family page. And it's facebook.com/the Twin Flame Family. I hope everyone's doing well. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.